Brown on Cleveland, and the Little Hut Podcast. Special Sunday edition is all about the candidates who are running for elected office. Brown, brown, brown. That damn Brown on Cleveland. Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. Of course, my name is Kimberly F. Brown. Brown, 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 that damn Brown on Cleveland. It's Sunday afternoon, and of course, it's a beautiful day out there, but it's even more beautiful inside the Little Hut. And before we get started, you guys know that Sundays are dedicated to those individuals who are seeking elected office. And before we go on, let me tell you about our rules. When you come inside the Little Hut podcast, you cannot bring any campaign material inside the hut, nor can you read from your phone. You can't read from a notepad. Nothing, nothing, nothing. This particular forum is all about the candidate. I'm the host. I ask the questions. I don't know what questions may be asked. Not one individual that comes into the hut on Sunday gets questions prior to them sitting down with Brown on Cleveland. Today's guest is Lisa Jones Dollar. Lisa Jones Dollar is a candidate for Cleveland Ward 1. It is the Lee Harvard area, the Miles area, and parts of Kinsman. The question tonight is, do you think that this particular candidate will survive inside the hut with Brown, 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 that damn Brown on Cleveland? Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. Well, good evening, candidate Dollar.
Good evening.
How are you today?
I'm well.
Very good. So let's get right down to it, because depending on how this goes, you may get the opportunity to sit with me for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. It all depends on the flow of the interview. So let's get right down to it. For those individuals who don't know anything about you, please tell us who Lisa Jones Dollar is. Jones Dollar is inside the Little Hut Podcast. She's under the hot light and in the hot seat with Brown, brown, brown. You guys, go ahead and say it with me. That damn Brown on Cleveland.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Miss Brown. I do appreciate it. Yes, my name is Lisa Jones Dollar, and I am a mother of two wonderful, great boys. I am a wife as well. I am a very, very fun person. I'm a very colorful person. I'm really not too stuffy or anything like that, although with politics, it tends to be a little bit on the stuffy side. So I try to make sure that I bring a little bit of my colorfulness to this type of world. But in reference to what I do as my occupation, my husband and I own a business, and we deal with the mental health community. And the name of our business is called Community Living Assistant Support Services, DBA Class Inc. And how we fell into this social service world. My husband saw a need because there wasn't too many payee representatives that were in the city. And so the one that they did have, they were having a lot of trouble with that. So he said, hey, you love paperwork, you love budgeting. How about we venture off into this business? And so, with him having a social work degree, and I always say this, like, I'm in school now and I'm finishing up my business degree, but I always say that I've been called and been ordained to do this type of work, because everybody can't do this line of work, especially dealing with people in general and dealing with the mental health community. It takes a lot of patience, first of all, and then a lot of compassion for humanity. So I'm very honored to be in this realm.
All right, let me ask you this. You just stated that you've been called to serve mental health consumers. Am I correct?
Correct.
But you're running for council person
Yes.
of Cleveland Ward 1. Please tell us why you are running for council person of this ward, Brown on Cleveland.
Okay, I'm running for council person, and don't be alarmed. Although I have a business, my husband would take over that entity. But I'm just going to keep it all the way 100 and keep it real. Ward 1 is filthy and dirty, and I hate to say it like that. I'm saying it like this because every time I speak to someone and they'll say, "Where do you live?" And I'm like, "Oh, the village." No one knows where the village is. It's off in the cut, part of Lisaville, and it's a little country and very dilapidated. But anywho, so the landmark that I give people, I'll say Lee Harvard Plaza. And the first thing they say is, "Oh my God, it's so dirty there. It's unsafe. You live around there?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." And it breaks my heart to hear people say that. And not only that, over time, I've been living here since 2015. I'm a city resident of Cleveland all my life, but I've been living on this parts of town since 2011, and I have seen it gone down.
Mm.
It has gone down tremendously. I mean, from all parts, to safety, to infrastructure, to, I mean, everything. And so, what really got me involved was one day a bullet came through my bedroom. And it's not like my window is the back of the house, it was the side of the house, which was odd. And my son, that day, my husband was out of town. My son was sleeping in the bed with me because we were watching a movie. And by then we were asleep when this happened. But my oldest boy said, "Mom, why are you screaming?" And I was like, "Screaming? I'm not screaming." It was that crazy that I didn't realize I was screaming. And so when I was going back to sleep, I felt something hot. And I jumped up and I looked, and the bullet was inches away from my son's head. And I sat there and I cried. I mean, it was so devastating. And I said, "You know what? Something has to be done. Something needs to be done." And then as I started my activism journey and I was getting more and more involved into who's who and what committees exist, what block club exists, and got to know the know-hows and ins and outs of Ward 1, I just decided, like, our people are disinvested, underserved. And then that's where it drew me and compelled me in my heart to say, somebody has to do something about this.
Okay, very good. Now, when candidates run for office, most candidates, if they're smart candidates, they develop a platform. I would like to know from you, what are your top 3 issues that you would deal with immediately within the first 90 days if Cleveland Ward 1 decides that you are the chosen one to serve Cleveland Ward 1? Again, Kimberly F. Brown on Cleveland, inside the Little Hut podcast, Sunday evening, continuing our series with individuals who are running for elected office. Brown on Cleveland.
Okay, so the very first thing, and I always think about this too, is
Platform, please,
yes,
platform.
platform,
Hmm.
my platform. The three things that I'm very concerned about is streets. We have potholes galore in streets that have not been done in over, I will honestly say 30 years, because my street hasn't been done in 30 years.
Hmm.
And I know the streets are graded from A through F. So I have a really big chalkboard, whiteboard, or whatever. And I'm going to really focus on getting these streets done because I really believe that if we get the aesthetics together, then that'll kind of uplift Ward One, and also then the people will probably feel like, okay, let's go ahead and start fixing up my home. If I have, that'll give them some type of incentive or hope to move forward. We're trying to get their property together. The next thing I'll focus on is safety. That's a part of my platform because this is something that the constituents. This is something that when I'm in these block clubs, we talk about these things, and that is a part of it. And then the next thing that I will also focus on is the youth. The youth, they need something to do. We have to get some type of community center. I would love to see a community center, especially for therapy services and just a variety of things I would like to see this community center have. But definitely the youth, because they're having these meetups inside of our plazas. And this is another thing that they talk about in their block clubs. There's nothing for them to do. And this is what they find that excites them.
Okay, Brown on Cleveland. I'm going to go back to the three issues that you will tackle with.
Okay.
If you look at Cleveland Ward 1 now, there are streets that are being repaired or and repaved. And according to Cleveland City Hall, it may boil down to, if not anything, a budget issue. If you were a council person, Cleveland Ward 1, how would you petition or direct other council members or the mayor and get a buy-in from our council president to say that there is an emergency need to get Cleveland Ward 1 streets fixed, Brown or Cleveland?
Okay. So that was another thing that I was going to say. When I first started running, them three issues are very important to me. And then I saw that there is a much bigger picture. And the bigger picture is really policy. Like we have to get on board, and I'm going to answer that question.
Please
But
do.
we have to get on board with changing legislation and policy. And also, although we have a budget, the council people have a budget that they are allotted, and you figure out what you need to do with that budget. But at the same token, streets also have money set aside in reference to helping the council people in reference to, because they know they don't have a lot of money within their budget to do a lot of things, so they do rely on them as well, and they work with them as well in reference to seeing what streets are in need to be paved. And also I
Let me
believe,
stop you there.
sure.
Is that from the council office or is that ultimately the mayor and his administration, Brown or Cleveland?
Okay, that is ultimately the mayor and his administration.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, let's talk about safety.
Okay.
You stated that the issue with safety comes up in a lot of your block club meetings. What would you do as a council person here in Cleveland Ward 1 to help curb the violence that's going on in this particular neighborhood, Brown on Cleveland?
Well, I do want to join the board, public safety board, so I can be in touch and in tune in reference to what fourth district has going on, what is going on in reference to just the whole public safety committee as a whole. Also, I
Let me
do.
stop you there.
Sure.
If they're already doing that, what is it that you would do in addition to or differently
Okay.
to, again, curb the violence that's going on in Cleveland Ward 1? And the reason why I'm asking that question, candidate Dollar,
Yes.
is because this is the same answer that I'm getting from everyone. Everybody talks about the police, the police, the police. What would you implement that you can implement in the ward to stand out from other candidates, Brown on Cleveland?
Okay. I was going there.
Okay.
But also we have auxiliary police.
Hmm.
I actually want to be in auxiliary police. I've inquired about it with Officer Harder, and I say, hey, send me some information because, like you said, if if they're understaffed, there's not enough manpower for the police to come out because, of course, we are already having city issues, especially with a particular issue that's happening on Harvard. So
Do you
we
want
could
to
use
do you want to expound on that issue?
um, well, what's happening on Harvard,
Hmm.
I'm not in that area, but of course I do get breaking news, and of course you also the little hut covers that as well. Um, it's an issue that they're having with a bar, a particular bar, and they're having like these what do you call them, bike
Hmm.
gatherings and different events and stuff which causes them to have mass crowds, these
Okay.
massive crowds. When I say massive, I mean massive, to where we just recently had the helicopter hover over the Harvard
Mm,
area just to see if they can disperse some of these people from that area. But yes, and so with that being
I
said,
see.
we do have to get very, very creative in reference to helping this section of Harvard because these people are really complaining and they're saying, we can't get any sleep. This is happening. And I do understand from the business owner perspective as well. Once you're out of my establishment, now here it is. We have people just loitering outside. So we have to get creative in reference to pushing the people along. And as I stated, we can probably include the auxiliary police to try to help us.
Question for you. Question for
Mm-hmm.
you. If people, let's look at the climate today.
Okay.
If people, I'm not going to say a lot of people, let's just say half people, illustration only. If 50% of the people are anti police that live on Harvard, what creative measures can you create, if any, from your council office to help ease the tension and to get rid of those street takeovers or lessen the street takeovers from your office, from you being the councilwoman Brown on Cleveland?
Well, that's a really important question and a
Hmm.
big question. And I think that we have to come to a table and we have to have these conversations. We really, really do. Like,
Candidate Dollar.
sure.
People are having conversations all day long, right? People right now are looking for answers. They don't have to be
Okay.
100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we know nothing is perfect, right?
Yes.
But if you can do anything from your council office as the council person to help ease the tension, to lessen the street takeovers, is there anything in particular that you would do outside of all of these community conversations, Brown or Cleveland?
You know what? At this point, I'll get out there myself. If I got to get out there with a bullhorn, I'll get out there myself and I'll make it happen and make it work. I do want to have these conversations with the businesses because I think we're lacking that as well. We're lacking
Hmm.
relationships with our businesses,
Okay.
and we need to. And in reference to this in this particular place that where they're having these massive gatherings,
Hmm.
from what I hear, my big question was, have you guys sat down and actually talked to this person, the business
Okay.
owner? And everyone says no. And I
Mm,
said, hey, let's do it. Maybe if we have a conversation
okay.
and allow this person to know who we are and let this person know that we need to work together. Let's go into partnership and see what we can do. And I even said, like
Okay.
before, let's get a group of people together that's myself in residence, and we'll get together and we'll just, like I said, get out there with our bullhorn and help try to disperse the people because I'm such a doer,
Okay.
and this makes sense for me.
Okay. Very good. Let's move on. There was some community conversation, a rumor that was put out on you, Brown o' Cleveland.
Okay.
Brown o' Cleveland. The rumor is that there was a forum held in Cleveland Ward 1
Okay.
and that you did not show up. The rumor is that I guess you simply ignored it. I would like for you to talk about that rumor and put some truth and some facts on why you did not attend the Ward 1 forum. And let me put this disclaimer out. The reason why I am asking candidate Dollar to talk about that issue is because I don't like rumors in the community. And being a resident of Cleveland Ward 1, just like people put rumors out, it is only fair. It is only fair that we allow candidate Dollar to talk about that rumor so she may have the opportunity to clear up that rumor. Brown on Cleveland, candidate Dollar, under the hot light in the hot seat inside the Little Hut podcast. Thank you.
Can I shake this pom pom?
You can shake your pom pom all day long. Shake your
I'm
pom pom,
shaking the
shake your pom pom.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is excellent because this is something that is near and dear to my heart because there is misinformation that has been put out there. So originally there was sponsorship that
Mhm.
was taking place with a person who was originally, is it okay if I say that or
You
just okay,
You can say
so
whatever you want to say. This is
okay.
Brown on Cleveland.
Okay. So I'm for sure everyone is familiar with the parties that are involved. And so when it was just a bunch of mess that happened. It got really, really messy to the fact that, sponsorship was pulled and it was some back and forth going on, misunderstanding. It was clear on one person's side, which I got it. But then it was just a lot of mess that was happening. And so I didn't know when the forum was going to take place, if it was going to take place at all. And so I have to keep running my race. I have to keep moving on because I don't want to miss opportunity to talk to my constituents. So I had another engagement, which I was able to talk to my constituents. So by the time I booked that engagement, all of a sudden there was we're going to go ahead and host the forum on this day. So they rescheduled it.
I see.
So I had a prior commitment. And like I tell people, once I give you my word, I give you my word. I'm not going to tell someone or an entity that, I'm pulling out because I have to go here because this place deserves my time and attention more than you do. I don't do that.
Okay.
And so I'm committed, I'm dedicated, and I stay committed and dedicated to that particular forum. And so I wrote a letter. I wrote a very heartfelt letter to let my constituents know that I do apologize for not being there, but I have another engagement. But if you need to get in touch with me, here's my email, here is my website, here is my social media handles, and here's my telephone number. So if you need to get in touch with me, don't allow a forum to stand in your way to know my views, my points, for me to address your issues or concerns. So please, by all means, reach out to me. And so that was
Brown on Cleveland. We'll just leave it right there.
okay.
I just wanted you to clear up the rumor that is going around Cleveland Ward 1. We have a lot of listeners, and I believe that when rumors are put out, we have to give people the opportunity to respond. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's talk about 601 Lakeside. Do you know where that place is located?
Are you talking about City Hall?
I'm definitely talking about City Hall. That is a place where you want to spend a vast amount of your time. In the event that Cleveland Ward 1 decides that you are the chosen one to lead our community, what particular committee would you petition the city council president to place you on, and why? Brown or Cleveland?
Okay, definitely. I'd love to be a part of the budgeting, finance and budgeting. The next thing that I would like to be a part of is
I just asked for one.
You asked
And why? And why?
I was ready to go.
Okay.
I think it's very important that we know what we're dealing with in reference to numbers, in
Okay.
reference to the money. I think the money makes the world go round. I think the money is what will place the infrastructure there, the whatever it is that we need. The money is very important for us to know how much we're getting, where we're going to spend it, how we're going to spend it, and so forth.
Okay, very good. The city of Cleveland, just like any other municipality, operates from the city charter. What can you tell us about the city charter, Brown on Cleveland?
Yes, our lovely 73-page city charter. It's a lot. And I always tell people, and I want to get people more engaged in knowing what the city charter is. And also,
No, no, I'm asking you.
okay, what is the
What
city charter
is
for
the
me?
city charter,
The,
Brown on Cleveland?
the city charter is what I call our handbook.
Hmm.
Like when your kids go to school or when you're starting a new job, you get a handbook. And that's what I feel the city charter is to me.
You don't want to elaborate?
Um, the city charter is very vague to me. Like even with, I would like to see a revision of the city charter, because when it comes to council, city council, knowing exactly what is expected of city council and the duties of city council, it's not quite um, listed in clarity. I would say the mayor, his job, is duties, what the body duty is with the mayor is very clear, but it's not so clear on our end. So I would like to see some changes in reference to that.
So, if you were explaining to constituents what exactly the city charter is, your response would be what?
I would say it's your guide, it's your handbook. If you want to know anything in reference to what's policy, what is procedure in our city when it comes to the city of Cleveland, this will help you. This will enlighten you in reference to the things that you need to know about basically anything and everything.
Okay.
Come from, oh,
No,
sorry,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
on down from let's see. Oh, it's so much. The different boards there are,
Hmm.
on down to um, the monies that you're getting, on down to how they run and operate down at City Hall. It's just a lot of wealth of information there.
Okay, let's move on. Being a city council member, you would have to work with other members of the council body. Please tell us about your experience with working with others, the good, the bad, or the indifferent. Brown or Cleveland.
Oh, yes, that's another one that I could say shaking my pom poms on. uh, I've had an experience, and I could say this experience was very traumatic for me. Working with others, the type of person that I am, I just really, I don't care how many accolades, how many degrees that anybody have. If you don't, you're not a people person and you don't really have the true love for people, I just feel like it's not going to work in reference to whatever industry or entity you involve yourself in. Like one time, I was volunteering at this school, and it was an alternative school. So you know what type of children that you're dealing with. They range from 16 to 21. And the kids got along with me well. They came to me, they talked to me. I even had the principal say, "Hey, Lisa," it was only one black teacher that was there. And she said, "Hey, Lisa, could you do me a favor? She's having a meltdown. One of ours were having a meltdown." And she said, "I need for you to calm her down." I calmed her down. She was fine. So, in one circumstance, this very day, these girls got into a fight. And so all I saw, the kids came into my room like, "Miss Lisa, help, help, help," because I earned their trust. They respected me. They knew what it was. And so I saw the cop have his hand on the gun. And I'm like, "Oh no, not today. You will not be killing this child today. Not on my watch." I jumped on top of this little girl. And although staff was mad at, they were very upset with me, but I did the first thing that came to my mind, because I knew I would have been messed up for life if I saw someone kill someone in front of me. I jumped on her. I talked to her like a mama. I said, hey, calm down. Do you want to live or die? And so we had this exchange, and she said, okay, Miss Lisa, threw her hands out and said, I surrender. I told the cops, hey, our hands are out. They're up. Take your hand off the gun. She's going to comply. So he took his hand off the gun. I got that baby up, and she went right into the principal office. Although they were really upset with me, they had a meeting with me. A couple days later, they told me, don't come back. And they had a meeting with me, and the place that I was volunteering, they were involved as well. And they had asked me, why did you do that? And that was not your place to do that. And they said, you were hired to do a specific job. And I said, you know what? When it comes to the love of these children, when it comes to humanity, you cannot tell me what's right and what's wrong, because what you wasn't going to do was kill that baby on my watch. And if you guys don't want me to if you don't want me to be here anymore, so be it. But I can say that day I saved my baby.
Long story short, how would you work with different council members?
Okay, so of course you got to know who you're working with. As far as I'm one of those type of individuals that I learn people because I want to know who I'm dealing with and what I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And so with me being able to have that special gifting to kind of like peg people and know what I'm dealing with, I know I know when to hold them and when to fold them. I know when to speak, when not to speak. So that will be kind of, and I take this with me through everyday life. That will be the kind of approach that I will handle with them as well, because I'm very respectful, but I'm also mighty.
Are you hard skill, soft skill?
I'll say, is there a middle?
This is your interview. You can answer any way you want to. Brown or in Cleveland. You cannot ask me questions. I am the person who asks the question. You got to respond. Brown or Cleveland. Talking to candidate Dollar.
I would have to say I am in the middle.
Okay.
I will, because I have this side of me that is I'm very extrovert. I'm very extroverted. I love people. I love being around people. And I am I am kind of soft spoken. I don't really talk a lot, let the truth be told.
Okay. All right. How would I know?
But when I'm comfortable with you, I actually do talk a lot. But at the same token, I sit and observe, but I'm a doer.
All right, let's go here. Cleveland Ward 1, I think, has about 24, 25,000. It'll be 26,000 people in the ward. In the event that you are elected to serve, how would you go about communicating with all constituents, Brown on Cleveland?
Oh, yes. This is a great question as well.
Thank you.
I feel as though we are divided. You have Lisaville, Lee Harvard, Union Miles, parts of Mount Pleasant. But then there is a section that no one really pays attention to, and that's Miles Heights in the Village. And then you have the island. And when we talk about these particular places or parts of Ward 1, and we talk about the people that live there as well, all of us are not created equal. At least I feel like the incumbent does not treat us equal. And so my approach in reference to, I'm definitely going to break the monotony up, and we are going to be dealt with as a whole. No one is going to be left out. We're not going to do Lee Harvard. We're not doing that. And I plan on getting around to every constituent, every resident in the neighborhood. And of course, you have to treat it a little differently, because what the stigmatism is out there is that, oh, this area doesn't vote, that area doesn't vote. So what we have to do is now get the people pull some type of census or report, get the people that, or the areas that are not voting, but we need to educate them on why and how to
Okay,
vote.
my question to you is this: does it matter if people vote or not when we're simply talking about communicating with every single resident, Brown on Cleveland?
Um,
We have Jehovah Witnesses in our community. We have people who don't believe in the voting process. We have people who are giving up on the voting process. Do we ignore these people? They still pay taxes.
mhm,
They live here.
mhm.
They invest here. They bought homes or they rent here. They still live here. Do we ignore non-voters? Brown on Cleveland.
Oh no, absolutely
So
not.
so what communication tool, what vehicle would you use to make sure that everybody knows what's going on in the ward as well as downtown Cleveland, Brown on Cleveland?
Okay, so we do host the town hall meetings. Town hall meetings to me now, what they are now, they're informational sessions. Like they
No,
bring,
no. What would you do?
yeah,
Don't talk about what's being done. What would make candidate Dollar stand out as far as her communication execution tool to the residents
yes,
of Cleveland Ward One, Brown
a-
or Cleveland?
absolutely. Okay, I was just trying to give a little backstory, but that's
Mm-mm.
okay.
We don't
I
talk. We don't.
gotcha.
We don't. We don't talk about him. We
I
we we
gotcha.
stay focused.
Absolutely. So, my plan is to revise that.
Okay.
I want to be able to have open discussions, open forums, and not make it so much into a resource fair. I want to be able to, of course, like I said, I'm very personable.
Hmm.
I make sure that I attend block clubs. I would love to, and I know this is like an old school way, but that's okay because people still believe in this power. Making sure that we have them in other areas, not just one area. Maybe set one up in the Mount Pleasant area and the Union Miles area. Also, make sure that we send out some type of informational brochure or postcard so these people will also have the information and door knocking, being more engaged as a council person. I want to be the type of council person that I am going to have a one-on-one relationship if you want that, because everybody don't want that. But if you would like to have a one-on-one personal type of relationship with me, and when I say that, I'm saying in reference to being concerned about the heartbeat of Ward 1, then I am here for you.
Brown, Brown, Brown. That darn Brown on Cleveland. We've been talking with Cleveland Ward One Council candidate Lisa Jones Dollar. It is time for us to wrap this thing up this evening. First of all, let me thank you for coming inside the little hut because I know a lot of people are afraid to come inside the hut, but at least you were bold enough to sit down with Brown on Cleveland. Shake your pom poms, shake your pom poms, darn it, shake your pom poms. And also, sitting on the sideline is, of course, Mr. Abdul Dollar, and he's sitting there playing with his telephone. I think he's watching a podcast, but I just wanted to let people know that, hey, she did not come alone. She definitely have her support. Hey, Mr. Dollar, just say hello.
Hello.
Told you guys he was here. So we're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to wrap this thing up. So, first of all, it was a pleasure sitting down with you. I like to try to pull as much information from people as possible because it only makes sense for people who are listening. And this is one reason why I like forums, but then I don't really care for forums because forums only give you what, 2 minutes to respond and then 1 minute for rebuttal. When you come inside the hut, we give you 40 minutes or more to plead your case to constituents who have made up their mind, but maybe because they heard you, maybe they're going to change their mind. People who are on the fence, you just never know. So again, I want to thank you for coming inside the little hut. So here's what I'm going to do for you, candidate Dollar. I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes to make a plea to the voters, the electors of the Cleveland Ward 1 community. Brown on Cleveland, candidate Jones Dollar, under the hot light in the hot seat inside the Little Hut podcast. Candidate Dollar, you got the floor.
Thank you, Miss Brown. Yes, as a candidate for Ward 1, this is what I want to say to the constituents, the residents, my neighbors, my friends, my family. Um, I do believe that we need change. It's time for some serious, serious change. We need to have a more thriving community. We need to have more sustainability in our communities. And we can't do that if we keep moving how we're moving. We need a new face. I am that new face for you. We need some new, fresh ideas. I am that new, fresh idea for you. And you need someone who's going to be a voice, a true voice, to not only hear you, but to put how you feel, your concerns, your issues into action. So if you are ready to hit the ground, because I'm ready to hit the ground, I don't want to talk anymore. We're done talking. We need to get our boots on the ground. We need to get out there in these streets, and we need to make sure we make change happen. And I'll be standing right beside you during this whole process. So please, I'm here for you. I'm here to create policy. I'm here to create new infrastructures. We need to get rid of all of these abandoned buildings, but we also need to make sure that we are holding our end of the bargain as well. So my name is Lisa Jones Dollar, and I do hope that you will choose me as your next council person. Thank you.
Brown, 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 that damn brown on Cleveland. Again, thank you, Candidate Dollar, for coming inside the Little Hut podcast. It was definitely a pleasure talking with you, speaking with you about your vision for Cleveland Ward 1. Don't forget that the primary election is Tuesday, September 9th. Polls open at 7:30 and they close at 7:30. Don't forget that early voting has already started. So do yourself a favor. Get out to bed. Don't make excuses. Head to the polls or vote absentee. Brown, brown, brown. That damn brown on Cleveland. Again, thank you for tuning in. Sunday evenings, special podcast with yours truly, Brown on Cleveland, inside the Little Hut podcast. On Sundays, it's all about candidates who are running for office. Don't forget, tell a friend. Tune in each and every Sunday at 7 p.m. and maybe your candidate from your neighborhood will be inside the Little Hut podcast with Kimberly F. Brown, 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 that day. Brown on. Woo! Shake your pom poms. Shake your pom poms. Shake your pom poms. Say goodbye, Candidate Dollar.
Goodbye.
Don't forget the primaries, Tuesday, September 9th. Woo! Brown on Cleveland and the Little Hut podcast. The #1 podcast in Cuyahoga County